So, I woke up this morning with the fact that the government just stole 1 hour of my sleep with their stupid, idiotic rules, and that there's a confirmed case of the coronavirus at CPAC last week, which I attended. So yeah, that happened. My graphics guy just sent me the thumbs for today's video, and he's like, Luke, is this too much? And I'm like, nope. And that's why in this video, unlike some people, we are going to be telling you why you should be taking the coronavirus serious, with of course all the latest updates surrounding the spread of this disease, which we just made an entire playlist of, covering this topic from the very beginning, being very accurate on our reporting, which again, I strongly recommend you watch our coverage from day one. We've been pinpoint about this from the very beginning, which resulted in us being punished by, of course, Alphabet, Google, YouTube, that is manually confirming every one video that we do about this particular topic for demonetization. So yeah, that's why we're an independent media organization with no strings attached to our reporting that is sponsored by, of course, you. One easy way to support us is by going to wearechange.org/donate and supporting us with just $5 a month. Just $5 a month makes the difference and allows us to do these videos for you every single day. If you haven't donated yet, please check out the website in the description below, wearechange.org/donate. Every little bit is greatly appreciated and needed more than ever, the attacks against us. Now, from the very beginning of this, we've been telling everyone not to panic, but it's best to be informed and, most importantly, prepared, which hopefully some of you people took seriously, since many scenes outside of supermarkets and Costco right now all throughout the country are looking like scenes from Mad Max. And with this virus spreading, expect more of these scenes and for them to get worse from here. Also expect a very sharp decrease in the global economy. But one of the reasons why this virus will spread is because of just human incompetency, ignorance, and idiocy. And no, I'm not just talking about Joe Biden, that recently called himself Obid-Obama and saying that we can only re-elect Donald Trump recently, but because the factors for people making mistakes here is big. Now, there are some people taking precautions, but there's also a lot of idiots that have a very low IQ, very low empathy and morals that will play a very important role here in the spread of this virus. Just like this patient that was diagnosed with the coronavirus and still decided to skip his quarantine because he wanted to attend prayers in mosques. And there's many cases like this that are far too many to mention here of just gross, ignorant behavior that is spreading this disease. And we have to remember, just like a lot of people are incompetent, so is the government, because they're made of incompetent individuals. And it really, really does seem like majority of people aren't panicking, but the government is panicking with duplicitous lies that are absolutely untrue, like the one recently with the Surgeon General and about the masks, the State Department flying in sick people on airplanes filled with healthy people, and now recently Donald Trump saying that there's going to be enough tests for everyone while his vice president says no, there are not enough tests for everyone. There's also a lot of red tape, regulations, bureaucracy, bullcrap that's preventing this new virus from being properly tested, like a regulation that is not allowing private labs to be processing the testing kits. There's also testing kits that could find out within 15 minutes if someone has the coronavirus that are not allowed in the United States because the FDA is blocking it. The same FDA that usually the previous head of Monsanto runs, that also, by the way, recently banned intravenous vitamin C intake, which some countries have said has been helping coronavirus patients. And so far, the CDC has only tested 1,583 individuals for this virus in the United States. Of course, highlights the shortages of tests that are available for people, which the government recently promised was going to be 1 million testing kits, and not surprisingly, they failed to match that quota. The government is also omitting information from health officials, specifically telling elderly people not to fly, specifically overruling that advice, which is just absolutely idiotic, since again, this virus predominantly affects the elderly. And while some government officials were even saying a couple days ago that this virus is contained, it, to me, definitely seems like they are making the situation far worse with their idiotic behavior. Now, the second reason why I believe we should be taking this seriously is because there are still a lot of unknowns about this virus. It has mutated, there are different strains now, and it most likely came from the level 4 bioweapons lab facility in Wuhan, China, and not from the wet market, since of course patient 0 never had interactions with that specific ground zero wet market. He never ate bat soup, and many doctors and epidemiologists, after looking at this virus closely and seeing genetically modified organisms in there, believe that it's a lab-produced weapon, which again, there is strong evidence suggesting that. This could be one of the reasons why many experts in the field are saying that this is, quote, the most frightening disease that they ever encountered in their careers. This is according to the previous White House Homeland Security Council member Dr. Richard Hatchett. And with those unknowns, with even the death rate being put in question, some people saying it is a lot lower, some people saying that it might be even higher, but yet a lot of it is still unknown because of the differences we are seeing in reporting from different places, and particularly Italy, and their reporting of this virus is especially worrying to many people, as they are reporting a death rate of 5%. Their death toll has risen from 133 people to 366 people in one day, as now 16 million citizens in heavy-hit areas of Italy are under quarantine. Italy's own army chief of staff has tested positive for the coronavirus, and the government is threatening its own citizens with 3 months in jail if they violate the quarantine area. This, of course, as just weeks ago, an effort was made by members of the Italian government, specifically the mayor of Florence, alongside the Chinese state-run media organizations that ran a campaign that told you to hug a Chinese tourist coming from China. And you guess why? They thought of this brilliant idea that you should just hug people from China in Italy right before Italy became the epicenter of Europe for the coronavirus. You know why? Because of supposed fighting of bigotry and racism, which is absolutely stupid and idiotic, and once again just shows you how to understand that only you are responsible for you and you only. And what is happening in Italy will most likely happen here in the United States, as even the state of New York is hinting at the possibility of quarantines. And this is why I say keep being prepared, keep being ready, and take all the precautions not to spread any disease or virus, whether the flu or the cold, and specifically this new one, that you should be especially taking precautions if you are immune compromised or elderly, because again, this is a virus that's not going away anytime soon. And as the government's telling you that this is contained, there's nothing to worry about, everyone will have tests ready, all of those things have come out to be not true. There are estimates, though, and leaked documents that U.S. hospitals are preparing for 96 million people to be infected with this disease, with close to 500,000 people dying from it. Other analysis is showing that all hospital beds in the United States will be filled with patients by May 8th, while other scenarios laid out by researchers show that at the best case scenario, that globally 15 million people will die because of this virus, with $2.3 trillion being wiped off from the global economy. Now, as this happens, it's also important to be informed that it's mostly elderly people that are being the most heavily hit by this disease, with their death rate being significantly higher than almost everyone else. And with 3 presidential candidates this year in the 2020 election, all of them in the range where it's most dangerous for people to get the virus as they're on the campaign trail, shaking hands, kissing babies, sometimes even sniffing babies, some of them, and doing other inappropriate things to children. All I could really say from here is it is definitely going to be an interesting ride from here. As of course, personally, I am taking this virus seriously. I've studied and looked into previous human pandemics, and they are not a rare occurrence. They do come, they do happen, and they do have a significant impact on civilization. And this is why I always preach being prepared. Even before the whole coronavirus thing hit the news, I was still prepared because I just know life is extremely unpredictable. Anything could happen at any time, whether a natural disaster or more likely a human disaster. The only thing you really have going for yourself is yourself. Yeah. Be prepared, but most importantly, be smart, take care of your immune system, don't just drink a ton of booze, which lowers your immunity, and be ready for it all. That's my particular take on it. It's kind of a serious one, but if you believe I'm being too serious, let me know why in the comments section below. There's also other theories about why this virus is spreading that I could personally look into and make separate videos. If this is something that you'd like me to make a video on, talking about the alternative theories to why this virus is spreading, let me know in the comment section below that this is something that you would like to see. I always answer back and talk to people within the first hour that a video is out. So subscribe, click the notification button, and maybe you will win the YouTube lottery of getting our videos. And then usually I just check in and read messages sometimes later because your feedback is extremely important to me, because without you, I wouldn't be here. And this is why I try to end every single broadcast by saying, I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.